everybody. Give me 1 second. Okay, welcome to Monday Math Instructional Video. The standard that we're going to work on today is G1.2, which says, classify two-dimensional figures based on the presence or absence of parallel or perpendicular lines, or the presence or absence of angles of a specified size. Recognize right triangles as a category and identify right triangles. So that is our power standard, but it is our standard that we're going to work on today. Our vocabulary words for today are parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and intersecting lines. As you can see below, this is our daily question. So you're going to see this on the very last slide, and this is something that you're going to answer in your math journal. Okay, so our vocabulary for today. So there's 3 types of lines that we're going to learn about today: parallel lines, intersecting lines, and perpendicular lines. So parallel lines, you can see it says they never intersect. That means they don't cross and they don't touch. So parallel lines go on and on and on forever, ever and ever, and don't touch. Intersecting lines pass through the same point, so they do cross. But I noticed perpendicular lines also cross, but they form a right angle. So a right angle is like if you made a very straight L with your, if you could make it perfectly straight, that would be a right angle. A right angle is 90 degrees. Okay, so here's some real life examples of parallel lines. So if you're looking at the picture of the railroad tracks, the railings, they go on this way and they do not touch. So those would be parallel lines. If you look at the picture of the football field, I don't really know what these are called because I don't really know anything about football. I think they're called yard lines, but these lines that go this way and they never touch, those would be parallel lines. And then you guys have to teach me what those are called. And then the picture of the escalator, the railings that go up the escalator are parallel lines because they never touch. All right, perpendicular lines. So perpendicular lines, remember, they intersect and they create a 90-degree angle. So if I'm looking at the picture of the window, this would be perpendicular lines because they create 90-degree angles. Same thing with these little carpet squares. If you're looking at the lines that go like this, those would be perpendicular because they create a 90-degree angle. All right, the next one is intersecting lines. Remember, intersecting lines cross, but they don't create a 90-degree angle. So if I'm looking at this looks more like a V than it really does an L. So that's not really a 90-degree angle, so they would be intersecting lines. Okay, so here's some more vocabulary words that we really need to know for this entire unit. So the first one is a line segment. So a line segment has 2 endpoints. So I want you to do this with your hands so you remember what these are called. So say this with me. Line segment has 2 endpoints. So it has a beginning and it has an end. A line, if you notice, it has these little arrows. The arrows mean that they go on forever and ever. So there is no end. The next word is array. So array has an endpoint, but it goes on forever the other direction. All right, so then there's 2 other kinds of lines. There's horizontal lines and vertical lines. So I am sure that you have learned about these in previous years, but a horizontal line lies down. So it goes from side to side or left to right. A vertical line stands up, so it goes up and down. So just like a tree, it goes up and down. All right, let's do some practice. So if you are at home and you have your journals, if you want to write these down, you can. Let's look at number 7. So what kind of lines would number 7 be? Well, they don't look like they're touching. They look like they go on and on forever. So those would be parallel lines. Let's look at number 8. So number 8, they intersect, and I see this little box here. This little box, whenever you see that, that tells me that it's a 90-degree angle. So I don't have to get my protractor out and measure it. I know just from that little box that it's a 90-degree angle. So that means those are perpendicular lines. All right, let's look at the ones at the bottom, number 10, 11, and 12. So they all look like they're little roads with little cars on them, but they're different kinds of lines. So number 10, I can see that creates a 90-degree angle, so that would be perpendicular. Number 11, they don't touch. So what kind of lines would those be? Yes, they would be, hopefully you said parallel lines because they don't ever intersect. And then number 12, they cross, but they do not create a 90-degree angle. So it would be, yes, intersecting lines. So if you would like to write these down in your math journal, you are welcome to do that. Okay, this part though, you do have to write in your journal. So in your math journal, you're going to, this is not my math journal, I have to go get my math journal, but we're gonna pretend like it's my math journal. So on the very first page, you're going to write Monday, August 17th. So if you need to spell that, it's on the first slide. And then you're going to write this daily question. So you're gonna actually write the words daily question on the first line, and then you're gonna write this question out. Do the best you can with drawing the shapes. It's most important to look and see like how many sides they have as you're drawing them and try to make them as similar as you can to the one that's on this slide. So for example, you're gonna make this chart in your math journal, and then if you have any questions or you wanna check your answers, then you're gonna come to the live lesson on Monday and we can go over this. If you need help at any point during the week and you have a question about one of these, you're like, I don't really know where it goes, then you're going to come 2:30 to 3 o'clock. I'll be online for help during that time. So that's going to be our math small group time. So I'm there to help you if you need help with that. But let's look at an example before we go. So the first one says shapes with at least one pair of parallel sides. Remember, parallel sides never touch. So if I'm looking at C, if I kept going with this line and I kept going with this line, they would eventually touch. Same thing with the top and the bottom. If I kept going with those lines, they would eventually intersect. So I know I'm not going to put C in that box. But look at A. They just want to know, do you have at least one pair of parallel sides? So if I kept going on A and I kept going this way and I kept going this way, they would just keep going forever and ever and they would never touch. So in this first box, I would write the letter A. You don't really have to draw the shape in the box. Okay, so you're gonna do that in your journal. The next thing you're gonna do, so today you have a independent practice on envisions. So it's just like we did it last year. Everybody that's e-learning student did it last year, so I know you know how. You're just gonna go on to envisions. If you don't remember, go to the welcome folder, the how-to folder, and it's on the homeroom course, and there is a video that will help you and your parents be able to get onto envisions. So once you're on envisions, today you're gonna do 15-1, which is just reviewing everything that we just learned. So you're going to do the visual learning first, that's a video, then you're going to do the independent practice, and then you're gonna do the quick check. This shouldn't take you very much time. So do your very best. I am gonna be checking the scores on all of this and keeping track of how you're doing. So I am looking at it. Please do your best, and I will see you at the Tuesday video. Bye-bye.